Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another PFL fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the full card of fights for PFL 2025 World Tournament first round, round one, or you could say PFL 2025 Jackson versus Koreshkov. Either way, I'm going to put whatever one makes the most clicks or gets the most clicks, but either way, it's going to be the same fights, no matter what title you give it. But yeah, I'm predicting the full card of fights. So in our first fight, we have in the featherweight division, we got Nathan Kelly versus Tae Kyung Kim. And how do I feel about this one right here? I'm going low confidence Nathan Kelly to beat Tae Kyung Kim. And yeah, I just feel like Nathan Kelly just a better overall fighter. I ain't gonna be like, I'm not too familiar or like so familiar with both of these guys, especially not Kim. But it just seems like Kelly is just a more rounded fighter, bigger, stronger. You know, just overall better. You know, I don't feel like he really blows him out the water in any particular area. But I just feel like he's the better overall fighter. Also, you know, everything all across the board: striking, grappling, experience, size, strength, stuff like that. So I feel like he just win. I feel like Young Kim will come in, he'll be game, but I think Nathan Kelly's experience and his overall skill set will get him over. But a good competitive fight. But Kelly just, again, all those facets and factors showing, and Kelly just being a step ahead the whole fight. So in this one, I have Nathan Kelly via decision. Now to the next one, we have in the welterweight division, we got Giannis Bakar versus Masayuki Kikori. And how I feel about this one right here is I'm going low confidence Masayuki Kikori to beat Giannis Bakar. And I just feel like Masayuki Kikori just in that case, this guy's better in every area. I feel like he's bigger, stronger, better grappler. He may not be taller, but he's wider, hits harder, better striking, better grappling. And I'll say he'll be able to touch the chin of Bakar and put him away in the second round. But yeah, this another case of just the bigger, stronger, better fighter. So in this one, I got Masayuki Kikori via second round TKO. Now to our next fight, we have in the featherweight division, we got Gabriel Braga versus Frederic Dupraz. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going I'm going average confidence Gabriel Braga to beat Frederic Dupraz. Dupraz seemed like a solid fighter, primarily a grappler. Braga, you know, he has a little bit of issues with wrestling, for the most part, but not too great issue. And again, he has fought much better competition. Like, yes, he had a little bit of issues with these guys, or he lost maybe once or twice to these guys, but these guys are like here. They're not with Dupraz. Not to say Dupraz is a bad fighter, it's just levels to the game. And Braga in PFL at this level, he is what, top 2, top 3? Yeah, I'm gonna say. Did he lose last season? Oh, I forget. He's top 3. I would say at least top 5. You're not top 3. Yeah, he's top 3. But yeah, just different levels of the game. I think Braga will be able to address the grappling, pick him apart the feet, and I'm looking at like I'll say first round TKO for Gabriel Braga. You know, coming off losing the last season, kind of semi close fight, he's gonna want to make a statement. They gave him a very winnable fight. And I think he can go out there, take advantage of it, and get a stoppage, and get a flashy win and show like this season, like this is gonna be my season. Or at least he's gonna tend to be, and try to show that in this win right here. So, in this one, I got Gabriel Braga via first round TKO. Now to our next fight, we have in the welterweight division, we got Muhammad Berkhamov versus Thad Jean. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Muhammad Berkhamov to beat Thad Jean. And I don't understand why Thad Jean's the favorite. I can understand that Berkhamov got stopped by Lorenz Larkin, but Lorenz Larkin, he's still pretty much, he looks the same. He fights the same. If anything, he might be a little bit better now, a little bit better, or roughly the same, maybe a little bit less. But it's not like Lorenz Larkin is showing so much amount. Lorenz Larkin is still pretty much the same dangerous guy he was. That was once a top 7, top 5, well probably like a top 7, top 8 welterweight in the UFC. So, and if you're gonna engage him in a striking battle, you're going to be a problem. But Thad Jean is not that case. Thad Jean is a young, undefeated, very unproven, very green fighter. And when I watch him fight, I don't really see like a truly elite fighter. I see a fighter that can be elite. He has the build, he has the look, he has the athleticism, he has the power and stuff. But his striking, his defense looks his chin's very high up in the air. He stands very square. He swings these big shots. He just strikes me as a guy that's very green. He don't have the Ngannou effect. He's no Ngannou yet. Probably never will be Ngannou. Maybe OSP, maybe he can evolve into be a better version of OSP. And I'm not just saying that because he's Haitian, but yeah, I see a very green fighter. The talent's all there. Maybe this fight that he'll show internally, but he struggled I'm not going to say the guy was trash, but I would say like a mediocre fight. I don't feel like the guy Chris Brown, not the singer, not the dancer, R&B guy. But like a fighter, I think that guy's a pretty much a long time journeyman, and he didn't look all that great against him. And Burkhamov, if you factor in the Lorenz Arkin fight, Lorenz Arkin would stop Thad Jean too. Like it's levels to the game, and Thad Jean's still very much a green baby at this point. He might be a big, muscly black man, but he's a green baby. He's only like 26 years old. He got the physicality, but he hasn't got the thorough experience yet. And I feel like this could be that fight for him that he probably could win it. I'm not saying he should win. He probably should lose it. He has. I don't understand why he's his favorite, but yeah, I see Burkhamov be. I just feel like it's gonna be one of those the same fight that Lorenz Larkin was for Burkhamov. I feel like it's gonna be the fight for Thad Jean. I don't feel like Burkhamov gonna stop him like Lorenz Larkin stopped Burkhamov, but I said like a decision. I'm like Burkhamov gonna be in the mix in the wrestling. He'll be able to take advantage of the lack of defense from Jean, the over swinging from Jean, maybe rough him up a little bit, get some takedowns, and just be the cleaner, more experienced fighter and give him that experience he desperately needs. And then this gonna be a fight that Thad Jean's gonna look at and grow from it and get better from it. Like I gotta elevate. I can't just keep doing the same thing because I haven't felt like I've seen no elevation from Thad Jean. I feel like I've seen the same fighter out. Every single fight he's been winning, and he went to decision with like a guy that's not even PFL, really not PFL level, Bellator level, none of those levels. Probably like 1FC level, and not even championship 1FC level. And that's no disrespect to 1FC, but the upper weight class, like welterweight, well, beyond welterweight, is like terrible. Even though this, I don't know. I'm yapping too much about this one fight, but basically I just feel like Thad Jean is too green. Burkhamov is still a very solid young fighter himself. He's in his prime, and he's learned from that loss. He's gonna be mixed up and give Thad Jean a similar type of loss, where it's like experience type of loss. And yeah, Burkhamov is a bit cleaner, more polished overall, more experienced, and being able to use that to get a decision over Thad Jean. So in this one, I have Muhammad Burkhamov via decision. All right, let's see. Now to our next fight, we have in the featherweight division, we got Jeremy Kennedy versus Movlid Khabulaev. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Movlid Khabulaev to beat Jeremy Kennedy. And I'm like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is my lock of the night. I'm not too. It's probably gonna hit regardless, but I'm not super high on Movlid Khabulaev right now, and it's not just because of him, but it's kind of both. I think Khabulaev is a solid fighter. I think Kennedy's a solid fighter, but the issue with Khabulaev is that he has not really been active. I think in 2021 he took like 2 years off. They came back in 2023. Now he's coming off another 2-year layoff. 2023 and hasn't fought since. Now he's coming back in 2025. He's given him a lot of height. He's like 5'6", very short for the weight class, 5'6". Jeremy Kennedy's pretty long for the weight class at 5'11", so he has a huge height advantage, only a 1-inch reach advantage. Movlid Khabulaev should be the better wrestler. I've never really been super impressed with Khabulaev striking. He has power, he knows how to land it, but he don't really have the fundamentals to piece it all together, in my opinion. So this fight, definitely Jeremy Kennedy can pull off upsets. Like, Jeremy Kennedy's been active. He may not have been winning every single fight, but he's been fighting elite competition, and he's been showing up pretty well in these fights. A close fight with Braga, Gabriel Alves, or Gabriel Braga, whatever you call his name is. He went a very close fight with him. He's had some close fights, and he's been competitive with some very good fighters. He has the wrestling as well. Khabulaev should definitely be the better wrestler, but it's one of those fights that if you sleep on Kennedy, he will. Matter of fact, no matter who you are, you sleep on Kennedy, you are a suspect to lose. And I don't know what Khabulaev's mindset is. He come off a 2-year layoff. He's pretty much undefeated. He has only one loss that was turned to a no contest because his opponent's test popped for it. So again, I just have an inkling that this could be a fight there. There's upset potential. It could even go to a controversial decision either way. But I will lean Movlid Khabulaev. I would definitely not bet it. That line is not good. It's terrible, given how much of a good dog Kennedy could be here. He's longer. I think he's the more fluid striker. Could surprise him in the wrestling department as well. But I would say Movlid Khabulaev will land the bigger shots. He will be to get takedowns. I have seen Kennedy get out-wrestled, by Volkanovski and some other fights as well. So I think Khabulaev should have a pretty decent wrestling advantage. I think he'll be able to use that. He'll probably have issue with the length early, but I think he'll be able to get takedowns, land the heavier shots, and also once he gets the takedowns and build up control time, that will leave Kennedy, expecting takedown. He'll open up the overhand and be able to touch Kennedy with some of those, maybe rock him, maybe drop him. But yeah, the big shots, the takedowns will edge the fight for him. Big shots, takedowns, control time. Probably nothing too crazy, but after 15 minutes, probably like maybe 5-6 minutes of control time. Probably land maybe the less strikes, but probably the more significant ones, and edge a decision over Jeremy Kennedy. So in this one, I have Movlid Khabulaev via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the welterweight division, we got Logan Storley versus Joseph Luciano. And how do I feel about this one right here? I'll go low confidence Logan Storley to beat Joseph Luciano. And it's really just low because you're dealing with fighters that you don't know too much. I know about Logan Storley. I know a lot about Logan Storley. Luciano, pretty much don't know too much about him, but seems to be more of a submission grappler. Logan Storley, even his last fight, fought a guy that has much better striking than this guy does, and has very tricky submission. Logan Storley was able to negate the tricky submission, get the takedowns, and I don't think Luciano's gonna be that tricky. I think he'll be get takedowns. Storley will negate the submission, be heavy on top, push a pace on the feet, and beat him. But again, you're dealing with fighters you don't know about. Maybe the guy's gonna come in and juice. Maybe he's gonna do this. Maybe he's gonna do that. Maybe Storley lost a step. So that's all the factors. That's why it's low. But if it was like Storley when this was his debut, it'd probably be average. But yeah, low confidence Storley. I think he'll be able to take him down. I think he'll be able to neutralize the submission game. I think he'll be able to push the fight on the feet as well with his volume to set up his takedowns and grind out a pretty clear decision on Luciano. Maybe a couple little scares here and there, but mostly a pretty repetitive fight. Storley pushing the pace, volume, pressure, get the takedowns, heavy on top, and not really allowing Luciano to get his game off. So in this one, I have Logan Storley via decision. Now to our co-main event, we have in the featherweight division, we got Jesus Pinedo versus Adam Borics. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Jesus Pinedo to beat Adam Borics. Yeah, this is, Pinedo's definitely in a much better spot in his career than Borics is. Borics says he's in his prime, he thinks he's the best right now, and blah, blah. But yeah, Pinedo, won the tournament, had a little layoff last year, or last season of this PFL tournaments. But, yeah, Pinedo's definitely a better spot than Borics. Borics hasn't really done nothing of that great significance in a while. But he's still, looking solid. He's still pretty well-rounded. But yeah, and also the fight is pretty live because it's really going to be a striker match. I don't feel like Borics is going to be to have no great success mixing up the grappling. I don't think Pinedo is going to really look to mix up the grappling. It's going to be a striking battle. Both guys are pretty long featherweights. Both guys are pretty technical on the feet. And also, another fact, maybe Pinedo might not be as hungry since he won the season. Because he won the season, I don't know what happened in between. I didn't do research on that. I don't really care to do research on what he's been doing, if he was injured or whatnot. But probably that was likely the outcome or what happened. But yeah, I think Pinedo will be, because I'm predicting Pinedo, I think he'll come back. I think he'll still have hunger. I think he'll be even better. Could definitely see a stoppage here, especially Pinedo is better than he was the season that he won. Like, he's still young enough. I think, yeah, pretty competitive striking battle. I say decision. I could see a stoppage well for Pinedo, but very close competitive striking battle. But I think the difference is that Pinedo's going to land harder, land the flusher shots, dictate the pace of the fight more, and push the pace longer. So, yeah, pretty scrappy striking battle, but Pinedo just having more dog in him, more grit, and more fuel, and will be able to push the pace, deal the more damaging shots, deal the more visible shots, the more appealing shots, and get his hand raised over Borics. So, in this one, I have Jesus Pinedo via decision. Now to our main event, we have in the welterweight division, we got Jason Jackson versus Andrei Korskov. And how do I feel about this one right here? I'm going low confidence Jason Jackson to beat Andrei Korskov. And maybe this should be average, maybe it should be, but I think low is good enough here. Jason Jackson, he's been a pretty inconsistent fighter. Not, over the past couple years prior to his last loss, which still was very competitive. And maybe you could argue could have went to him, maybe. But, prior to that loss, he was pretty consistent. And I think he'll stay consistent. I think he'll win here, but I can't go super crazy because for a long time, Korskov was elite and Jason Jackson was just kind of middle of the pack in Bellator. But then towards the end of Bellator, Jason Jackson, he hit a new groove, found a new level, elevated, upset the champion, became champ. So he ascended to a different level. And Korskov has since, he has not looked the same he looked, maybe 5-6 years ago. Not to say he looked so bad, but he's definitely not on the same level as he was then. But a very competitive fight. I'm not too sure that Jason Jackson will be able to have like such, a strong lead on the grappling as far as he could just take Korskov down. I'm not sure of that. He might not be able, because at one point Jason Jackson was somebody that would get a little bit wrestled up and roughed around. So again, that's inconsistent. Like, towards the end of his Bellator career, he was taking people down a lot more. Whereas at the beginning of his Bellator career, he was getting taken down by Neiman Gracie, Ed Roof. Not to say these are bad guys. They aren't. They're solid fighters. Elite grapplers at that. But you weren't really seeing grappling from him until later on when he fought Douglas Lima and some of these other fights. But I'll go him. I think he has more juice in the tank, and no homo. But I think he has more fuel. He has more life left to his career. I definitely think he wants to rebound from that last loss, which was a very competitive fight, and which he came on late. And I definitely think he wants to come back and get a win. And again, it's not like this is the Korskov, we get in a faded Korskov. we get in, Jason Jackson is still pretty much at his peak, and maybe we'll find a new peak. I think he has the cleaner boxing of the two. Korskov definitely has the better kicks. Jason Jackson, I would think at this point in career, will have the better wrestling. But I see a very competitive fight, and I think if Jason Jackson does need to mix it up, if the kicks are being a little bit too much, a little bit too flash, doing a little too much damage, I think Jason Jackson will be the one who will who will stand a better chance to mix up the wrestling, mix up the grappling, and edge a fight over Korskov, mixing up, put him in the clinch against the cage, chaining wrestling, mixing the takedowns, and eliminating the kicks. So pressure, boxing, clinching against the cage, mixing the takedowns will take away that kicking range in that kicking game of Korskov and really have him guessing and, and having to play, I guess, be on the responsive side. Like, you don't have to try to respond to what Jackson doing, whether, that's never a good place to be unless you're a phenomenal counterfighter. Not to say that Korskov is a bad counterfighter, but he's definitely, I want to say, a phenomenal counterfighter. And most fighters don't want to be in that game where you're trying to counter. So much of your game is like you're like, oh, I got to defend the takedown, I got to defend it. Like, how do I defend what he's doing instead of how do I deal damage? How do I take him down? How do I set him up for it? Like, you don't want to be on the responsive end. And I think that's where Jason Jackson is going to kind of put Korskov a lot in this fight. Still see this as a competitive scrap. I still think Korskov has enough life in him, and that's why I'm not, writing him off. I think this is going to be a competitive fight, but again, I think Jason Jackson just in a better point in his career, has more life left in his career, and this is a better point in his career, and will do a better job of setting the tone for this fight and making Korskov fight Jason Jackson's fight. So in this one, I got Jason Jackson via decision. And so that concludes my fight predictions for the full card of fights for PFL 2025 World Tournament first round 1, or Jackson versus Korskov. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.